Okay, remember, if you ever miss class, I do record these. I usually record you guys the last period of the day. So if you went on YouTube tonight, you're going to hear this lesson all over again. Cool. But the thing is, I only do it because of people missing class, I'm sick, or that person, you guys, period 6, you disappear because you're in a sport or any kind of activity. When you miss class, please go to YouTube and do this. By the way, when you Google me, it's what? Steve Painter, okay? All right, and I'll probably label it 1.3 day 1, so just so you know. Okay, here we go. I'll go as quick as I can. Now, you guys were supposed to have read this. This is why I can go quick. I wish I would have done this, but I did not do this, and that is slope-intercept form. I never showed you it. What is slope-intercept form? Say it louder, Jeff.
Y equals mx plus b.
Thank you. Y equals mx plus b. Okay, so this is slope-intercept form. Why is it so nice? Because if it's in that form, you can do what really fast? You can graph it. This is the best way to graph. Put it in slope-intercept form and just graph it. Well, let's practice. But before we practice, just tell me what the letter M stood for or stands for. Slope. Okay, write this down. Slope. Okay, now use your words. What is slope? Rise over run. Thank you. Okay. All right. Now, everybody just, you don't have to write anymore. Just watch. Tell me what this means to you. If your slope is 3 over 5, it means what? Here's my point. Where do I go? Up 3. Don't say over. Right 5. Up 3, right 5. That's what it means. Okay? Now, what about this? What if it's not 3/5? What if it's just the number 3? Okay, so in your mind, you put it over what? 1. So if you put it over 1, it's up 3, right 1. Okay, good. What about this one? What if the slope is 0.3? No, 0.3. 0.3 repeating is 1/3.
Over 10.
Up what? 3. Okay. And then right what? 10. So John, you said before, Cece said, you said what?
3 over 10.
John changed it to a fraction, which you did too. But John says, that's just 3/10. And then Cece said, up 3, right 10, up 3, right 10. Get it? Do you guys really want, you know what period, I think period 4 and period 5 both said this. You can just put it over 1, which you can. That means what? Up 0.3 over 1. Up 0.3 over. It's hard to do that. That's why I wouldn't do this. I would do this instead. Sometimes the book goes into decimals for slope. Think of decimals as fractions. It's easier. Okay? All right. Good enough. That's enough on slope. That's what I want you to know. Slope is M. Slope is also rise over run. Okay? Now, what's this B thing? That's y-intercept. Okay. So y-intercept. But the y-intercept is just a point. Can you give me an example of what it might look like?
+6 or something.
0, comma 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. But now look up here, guys. Where do we find it? It's right there. It's B. So I'm going to put 0, B. It could be 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5, whatever. But it's just that number right there. Okay. So here we go, guys. We've got 3 equations. I would like you to sketch them. Okay. The first one, is it in slope-intercept form?
Yes.
So what's the slope? 2. And by the way, 2 is just 2 over 1. What's the y-intercept? 1. But when you say 1, can I write it like this? Can I write it like that? 0, 1? Okay. Sketch the graph. Start where?
0, 1.
Yeah, start on the y-axis. Where? At 1. Go right here. Okay. Slope is what?
Up 2.
Up 2. Right 1. Up 2. Right 1. Okay, there it is. There's another side to this line. What direction would I follow now? The other side. down to
Left.
left 1, down to left 1. There it goes. Good. Okay, that's A. Now B, look at B, it says y equals 2. Is this in slope-intercept form? I heard no, and I heard yeah. Naomi, you said yeah. So tell me how. How is that in slope-intercept form?
Well, the only thing it's missing is X, so I guess you can say it's not,
Well, the x term is missing, right?
yeah.
But here's the
But
deal.
it's
Why?
still y.
Why is it missing?
It's
Because m was what?
0.
The slope is 0. So really, guys, this is in slope-intercept form. I'll write it for you. Y equals. There is no x, so why don't I just replace it with 0x plus 2? There. That equation, y equals 2, is in slope-intercept form. The slope is what? 0. So slope is 0. Y-intercept is what? What's the y-intercept?
0, 2.
0, 2. Okay. So start at 2 right here. What's the slope?
0.
Up 0. Right? Oh, sorry. What's 0 as a fraction? 0 over any number. Up 0, right 1. Up 0, right 1. Turns out to be what kind of line? Horizontal. All horizontal lines have the same slope. What is it? 0. Every horizontal line has a 0 slope. It doesn't go up. It doesn't go down. It's got 0 slope. Okay. Last one. Okay, I'm gonna erase this so you can see a little better. Okay. So this one is not in slope-intercept form. So what do we do to get it in slope-intercept form?
Move the X to the
Yeah. Move the x over. How?
minus.
Minus x. Y equals what?
Negative x plus 2.
Negative x plus 2. There you go. Slope. What's the slope? Negative 1. What's the y-intercept? 0, 2. Okay. So start at 0, 2. Right there. This time your slope is negative, so you're going to start by doing what? Yeah, it's down 1, right 1. Right? Down 1, right 1. There goes. This is C. This is B. And that is A. Questions? Good. Okay. All right. Keep going. Look at this one. This all of a sudden they start talking about the slope formula. If you read this last night, you know what I'm doing. I'm just repeating what you read. Now, the slope formula is used when they give you a point, x1, y1, and another point, x2, y2. Slope between 2 points is really just a formula. What is it, John?
Isn't it y over, or y2 minus y1
Okay.
over x2 minus x1?
Okay. Most likely your 9th grade teacher told you about that back in algebra 1. Okay? If you want the slope, it's really simple. Subtract the y's over, subtract the x's. It's just a number over a number, which is slope. Now, would you do it twice? Here's 2 problems. Find the slope of the line passing through each pair of points. So find the slope on A, find the slope on B. Give you a minute. Go. What does that say? All right, let's try this. Hannah, what'd you get for A?
I got 1 over -5.
Okay, so she's got 1 over -5, but really the fraction is negative. So it's -1/5. That's what she got. Let's see. Take your y's and subtract them. 0 minus -1. But because I went that direction, I got to go this direction. -2 minus 3. Well, the top gives you what? That's a positive. Yeah, that's 1. And the bottom gives you -5. Good. And what if you didn't go this direction? What if you went this way? The answer is the same, but where's the negative? On top. But it doesn't matter. It's still -1/5. So the direction you go does not matter. Just go the same direction both times, okay? The next one, B, what did you get, Gavin?
-3
Just simply -3 is the slope.
over 1.
Over 1. Okay, -3 over 1. All right, let's try it. I'm going to go this way. 4 minus 1. Okay? And then I'll go this way. 3 minus 3. I'm getting 3 over 0. I didn't get 3 over 1. I got 3 over 0.
Can't divide by 0.
Okay, but did you guys get 3 over 0?
Yeah.
And there is a number that you'll never be able to divide by in this class. It's what? 0. So what's the slope?
Undefined.
Yeah, it's undefined. Another thing you can say, if I ask you for the slope and it's undefined, you can also say this, there is no what? You can also say that, there is no slope. For there to be slope, you have to be able to move how far? 1 unit. Because slope, the definition of slope is go up whatever the number is and then move over 1. Go up whatever the number is, move over 1. That's the definition. And since you're not moving over 1, there's no slope. Oh, by the way, what kind of line does that come from? Vertical. Watch my hand. Up, 1, 2, 3. Don't go right or left. 1, 2, 3. Don't go right or left. 1, 2, 3. It's what? Vertical. You should write yourself a note. This comes from only what lines? Vertical lines. Have no slope. Please don't forget that because that's going to be asked on a test. Okay? All right. Sketch a line with a slope that happens to be positive, -0, and undefined. This should take you 10 seconds. Ready, set, go. So your 10 seconds is up. Positive slope looks like what kind of line? You're supposed to tell me. A line that goes which way? From left to right, which way does the line go? Up. That's positive. What's this? Negative. So you should have said, that's a positive slope. That's a negative slope. What's the slope of 0 going to look like? Horizontal. It doesn't go up, it doesn't go down. It's flat. Horizontal. And then we just talked about it. Vertical lines have no slope, undefined, this one. Now, what I would do right now is I do this. Write yourself an example of the equation for this one. What would an example look like for an equation of horizontal? Y equals, let's just say 5. That's an example. It goes right through the y-axis, right at 5. Okay, that's what it does. What's an example of this equation? X equals any number like 3. Okay. X equals 3. If you ever get that, it's vertical. No slope, undefined slope. Okay? All right, now, the last piece of this information I'm giving you is right here. You're going to be asked several times to write equations of lines. Well, what helps us write the equation of a line? This does, right here. Helps write the equation of a line. It's called what form? point slope form. The only time you can use point slope is if you have a what? A point and what else? Slope. You got to have those two things. So look, read that question right here. Given 2 points, 5, -6, 8, -3, write an equation in slope-intercept form that will go through these points. So if you're going to write the equation, you need point and a slope. Well, you've got points. You got 2 points. You don't have what? You don't have a slope. So if I were you, the first thing I would do when I read this problem in my assignment today, find the slope. Go get it right now. Go get your slope. Alan, do you have a slope?
Is it 1?
Is it 1, he says? What do you guys think? Yeah? Okay, let's try it. Ready? -6. Take away -3. 5. Take away 8. Okay, there it is. On top, I'm going to make that a plus. Make that -3 over -3, which is 1. Alan got it right. Okay. Once you know the slope of your line and any point on your line, you can write the equation. Here you put what in for m? 1. Parenthesis, parenthesis. And anytime you write the equation to a line, to a circle, you got to have an x and a y. Here's your x. Here's your y. And now you just subtract a point from each one. Which point do you want to work with over there?
5, -6.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, you can pick this one, but since Hunter told me 5, -6, I'll go with it. Y minus what? -6. X minus what? 5. That is the equation through those 2 points. Now, I just wrote the equation. But you know what? They always say write it in what form? Slope-intercept. Which means now you got to convert to slope-intercept form. Okay? So you're going to have to clean up the mess. -6 is really y plus 6. You're going to have to distribute this through, which is really no big deal because it stays x minus 5. Okay? Now get it to look like this. Y equals. Subtract 6, gotcha. -6 gives you, here it comes, y equals. And again, why do we want to put it in this form? What? It says right here, helps graph an equation. Yeah, that's why you do it, because you know you're going to graph it eventually. That's pretty much what you were supposed to have read last night. And maybe you didn't, maybe you did. I don't know. Now, the assignment is what through what?
43 through 103.
43 through
It's
100.
like 5n minus 2, so every fifth thing, something like that.
43 to 103, right?
Yeah.
And the formula is
5n minus 2.
5n minus 2.
So every fifth number, but 2 back.
Okay, let's try this. Ready? You got to somehow make this formula equal the first number. What would it be? 5 times 9 minus 2 is 43. So since the first number you put in was 9, then the next number would be 10, which means to do what? 43, then what? 48. If you did 5 times 11 minus 2, you'd get what? 53.
That seems just like such a
What are we doing? Every fifth problem. Every fifth problem, which means you're going to go fast. There's not a lot there. You guys, it looks like a tremendously long assignment. It's every fifth problem.
every fifth problem is hard.
No, Eddie's asking me, do I want the quiz back? The answer is no. I would suggest you don't throw them away. They're on the test. Don't throw them away. Stick them in a folder. You can throw them away after the show. I only want 1, 2. Yeah, 1.
Oh,
I don't want one.
that's fine. Oh. I just want
Hey, you guys, don't know if I said it, but there's graph paper up here. Some people don't want graph paper, but if you're not going to take it, you better be really precise. I'm going to get picky on you, and if you're not going to take this, then you make sure you do it as best you can.
How much will we need, you know?
I don't know. You can take 2 or 3. If you use it, you use it. If you don't, you don't. What else is there? Oh, when is 1-3 due?
Tomorrow.
No, because if you look at your calendar, we're still doing 1-3 tomorrow.
Friday.
So we do it Friday.
So much.
1-3 is actually, we actually started it last night, but it won't even be due until Friday.
Why?
But don't wait, because you're gonna get way behind.
I can't tell them how long. Inconvenient.
Wonder why they don't do it on both sides.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Because maybe you want the line.
And if you look here, look how smooth my lines are compared to if I use this.
You don't look at this and you touch the line. I think Mr. Payne.
You better go buy this, go back.
Yeah, probably.
Because it will go up the price. Oh, there's no
God,
line.
that's John.
If there's no line.
Yeah.
We're playing the Amazon now.
You're gonna get the new fees. You got why it is like so when they have space on my PS4.
I'm bringing that back.
That never was. Have you been on?
No.
Exactly. It's way over here.
You haven't for a while. So.
I know what it is, John.
But he's your famous
I talked to him, like, he has like
Actually, you're gonna find this. There is no one else. It means 2.
like first figured it out.
But it's also a
Sketch the line.
It's a movie one.
Scroll to skip.
It's actually really stupid.
Yeah, I know.
You still gotta sketch it. But it's just vertical. Makes it make it fun. Hey, you guys, if you go home tonight and you just kind of get stuck, one thing I want to tell you is this book is excellent. It is a great book. It tells you exactly what to do. So if you actually went back and looked at example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you would find it. You just have to look for it sometimes. I mean, I try to tell you all this stuff up here, but it doesn't always sink in. You guys don't hear me all the time. So go back to example whatever and look it up. But if you're in class right now, you can just ask me. It's much easier. Okay?
How's the day going?
Keep on.